In last year's Thrawn novel, we learned that the Unknown Regions was home to some of the worst elements in the galaxy and major threats to all those who lived within it. As Thrawn told his nemesis Nightswan as a justification for his joining the Empire, there were evil things in the galaxy, far more evil than even the Empire, and who were dangerous to all living beings. And it wasn't merely Nightswan that Thrawn made it known to that there were threats in the Unknown Regions. In his very first meeting with Emperor Palpatine, he attempted to make a mutual bargain with the Emperor. Thrawn would offer his military experience in exchange for the Empire to consider his people, the Chiss, and come to their aid against the threats in the Unknown Regions if needed. But unbeknownst to Thrawn in these early days of the Empire, an even bigger threat would emerge to confront the Chiss: Supreme Leader Snoke in the First Order. In this video expose, I will explain why it's likely that Snoke and the First Order decimated the Chiss Ascendancy during their rise to power within the Unknown Regions. First, it should be noted that the First Order, and probably more accurately, the remnant of the Empire, as we're talking about the period immediately after the remnant's retreat into the Unknown Regions following the Battle of Jakku, was in no way a significant threat to the Chiss during these early days. As we learned from the Last Jedi novelization, the Imperial Remnant was initially insufficient to meet the abilities of the terrors that lied within the Unknown Regions, which is probably related to the threats that Thrawn spoke of and feared himself. This all changed, however, when Snoke saved the Imperial Remnant and organized it into the First Order as we know it from the films. Snoke's new power not only saved the Imperial Remnant, but it reorganized the First Order into nothing like the alliances or states that similarly sprang up following the Galactic Civil War, and even the Empire itself. The First Order was led by Snoke's grand destiny. First, it would retake all of the star systems stolen from the Empire, and then build upon that foundation, which is to state simply, full galactic domination. Of course, having been relegated to the Unknown Regions following the Battle of Jakku, the First Order's domination started there, which would include the Chiss's holdings and Thrawn's homeworld of Scylla. In the Episode 8 novelization, given from Hux's perspective, the First Order separated itself from the other kingdoms of the Unknown Regions in that they were not satisfied with merely claiming sectors of territory or colonizing small clusters of worlds. They wanted the whole thing. So why would all of this result in the destruction of the Chiss by the First Order? First, we know that the First Order's political and military aspirations would have certainly brought them into contact with the Chiss. And given what we know about the Chiss from the Thrawn novel, they would most likely not have stood by as the First Order conducted its reign of terror in the Unknown Regions. This is why Thrawn was sent by the Chiss Ascendancy to learn about the Empire in the first place, to see if they could gain an ally against any threats in the Unknown Regions to ensure their own protection. But most importantly, and from Hux's perspective again, we learn the fate of many of the important kingdoms and civilizations within the Unknown Regions, which likely includes the Chiss as well. The novel states that many of the hermetic kingdoms of the Unknown Regions had been dismantled or destroyed by the First Order during its secret rise. From this, we can infer it's likely that the Chiss ran into the First Order during their rise to conquer the Unknown Regions, and were subsequently dismantled or destroyed by them. Further, given what we know from the Star Wars Rebels series finale, it's likely that Thrawn was quite literally lost in space during this period, and thus the Chiss lost their best hope to fight back against the First Order's actions. Therefore, given Snoke's grand destiny to conquer the entire galaxy, and the First Order's known rise within the Unknown Regions, where many of the kingdoms there were dismantled or destroyed, it's likely that the Chiss Ascendancy similarly fell victim to the First Order. On the bright side, I patiently await the story of Thrawn's return to the Unknown Regions to galvanize what remains of the Chiss and lead them to their former glory. Hopefully. So there we have it, why I believe it's likely that Snoke and the First Order destroyed the Chiss Ascendancy within the Unknown Regions. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter @SWReadingClub for updates regarding the channel, or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive hangouts and book discussions. If not for me, for Aralani.